The 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross Interior and Exterior Review. Hello guys, and welcome to our channel, Latest Luxury Cars. And today we are going to talk about the 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. Here we go. It's sometimes nice to be reminded of how amazing a car is by driving it again. In the case of the Mitsubishi Xpander, it's the little MPV that everyone has become accustomed to. Of course, this puts it at risk of being nurtured with disdain. Regardless, despite the market's newest offers, it remains the segment's benchmark. The Xpander was not the first in the tiny MPV sector, but it was the one that gave it broad recognition. It managed to turn the tables on a class of vehicles that are not known for giving frills or thrills. Simply enough, it elevated this portion. Driving one does not have to be done while wearing a paper bag over your head. It was fashionable, functional, and adaptable. Naturally, Mitsubishi was rewarded, as the Xpander became the best-selling MPV in the country, outselling even the Toyota Innova. By 2022, Mitsubishi's competitors had begun to take note. The Xpander is susceptible since it is the oldest in its class. Nonetheless, a timely refresh was able to turn back Father Time. The Xpander is either eye-catching or fussy, depending on who you ask. Personally, I think it's a little of both. The Gundam-inspired front end is not beautiful, but it adds character. Mitsubishi designers deserve credit for sticking to their guns with the full dynamic shield idea. It's been stressed even more for 2022, and it, together with the T-shaped LED headlamps, gives it a recognizable, almost shouty presence, a rarity in the MPV class. Moving on to the remainder of the automobile. It's all about cleaning it up. Everything else is pretty quiet in comparison to the stunning front end. The side sills are now more integrated, and the tailgate and rear bumpers have been tastefully tidied up. The Xpander is either eye-catching or fussy, depending on who you ask. Personally, I think it's a little of both. The Gundam-inspired front end is not beautiful, but it adds character. Mitsubishi designers deserve credit for sticking to their guns with the full dynamic shield idea. It's been stressed even more for 2022, and it, together with the T-shaped LED headlamps, gives it a recognizable, almost shouty presence, a rarity in the MPV class. Moving on to the remainder of the automobile. It's all about cleaning it up. Everything else is pretty quiet in comparison to the stunning front end. The side sills are now more integrated, and the tailgate and rear bumpers have been tastefully tidied up, with a first-rate driving environment. The Xpander grows from strength to strength. A new 3-spoke steering wheel is born from the redesign of the dash. It has a big, meaty rim, which you'd expect to see on a sports car rather than an utilitarian MPV. Then there are the redesigned gauges, which have a full-color multi-info display and a very readable Mitsubishi typeface, which is mirrored in the new 7-inch infotainment system. Engine transmission and performance. The Xpander retains its 1.5-liter 491 engine and 4-speed automatic transmission. The outputs are quite enough at city speeds. However, keep aware that it loses speed fast as the speed or passenger count increases. Furthermore, because there is more rotational mass to overcome as a result of the larger tires and heavier mass, up by 20 kilograms, it does not accelerate as rapidly as previously. It's fine when it gets going, though, unfortunately, this has had an impact on fuel efficiency, which has dropped to 8.3 kilometers per liter from 9.9 kilometers per liter at the same average speeds. Nonetheless, when fueled with Petron XCS, a gasoline that meets your demands, its 45-liter tank can go up to 373 kilometers. Not too shabby, aside from obtaining less kilometers per liter of petrol. The Xpander also falls short in terms of safety. Due to the lack of side impact airbags when it was released in 2018, it did not receive a 5-star Asian NCAP safety certification. 4 years later, Mitsubishi has failed to remedy this weakness by continuing to use the same safety equipment as previously. It's solid but not remarkable, featuring twin SRS airbags, ABS with EBD, braking assist, standard only on the GLS, and traction control with hill start aid. It also lacks any form of parking sensors. However, the back camera does give clear, succinct directions. Under the hood, the 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross retains the powertrain from the previous generation. A 1.5-liter 91 inline four-cylinder MIVC petrol engine with 105 horsepower and 141 Nm of torque is used. This, like the updated Xpander in Indonesia, is linked to a CVT. The 4-speed automatic transmission will very certainly be retained for the Philippines. Anyone hoping for a continuously variable transmission will be disappointed, since the transmission is the same 4-speed torque converter automatic with an old-school overdrive button. The car is still rev-happy and zippy to the extreme. But drivers will need to use caution to get the reduced fuel consumption statistics that a CVT would have otherwise provided. Mitsubishi chose to improve on the Xpander's original suspension system with adjustments on the current version, which was clear throughout my test drive, despite the fact that the seats didn't appear to be much more bolstered than those in my own unit. The facelift Xpander exhibited less body roll in turns, despite the additional ride height. The achievement was made even more amazing by the fact that there appeared to be no weight increase over the present version. After everything is said and done, the Mitsubishi Xpander retains its distinct sense of design, while also providing the greatest driving experience in the compact MPV class. Despite its deficiencies in terms of fuel efficiency and safety features, it compensates by continuing to provide a very flexible, practical interior space that is now backed up by an upscale premiumness that is generally lacking in this class of vehicles. People were quick to criticize the revamped Xpander's P1180 million price tag. But in the end, every peso was accounted for. In this case, the price is entirely justified, and all it takes is a drive to remind you of that. Interior and exterior features. The newest Xpander retains the same body shell as the predecessor. This allows it to keep the overall silhouette, including the strong character line at the sides. The front and back ends, on the other hand, are vastly different because of how cluttered the original Xpander's dynamic shield fascia was. It took me a while to get used to it. The facelift Xpander, on the other hand, was pretty easy on the eyes. I could not figure out why, but it hit me when I was writing this post. The new blacked-out grille provided a pool of negative space for my eyes to rest, while the bolder chrome lines on the dynamic shield's contour attracted my sight sideways to the reworked T-shaped LED headlights. Even the fog lamps farther down the front bumper are now housed in a more streamlined housing. Mitsubishi repositioned the license plate holder, making the grille appear larger than it is. But although the negative space worked on the grille, I did not think it worked on the headlights, which tempered my enthusiasm. The new Xpander sports a considerably higher ride height on the sides, thanks to improved ground clearance, on par with the existing Xpander Cross, and larger 17-inch alloy wheels. The model's redesigned rear end looks considerably tighter than before, with new T-shaped LED taillights complementing a more angular apron and restyled ear bumper, which now omits the rear fog lamp. The cabin of the facelifted Xpander felt both familiar and fresh. Much like the outside, it still has 3 rows of chairs and a new diamond design on the cloth material. It retains the model's considerable load room, from the cubby holes in the front to the back underfloor storage. Unlike the existing model, the new Xpander has a restyled dashboard with brushed aluminum trim that is more attractive. Padded surfaces are now available, especially on the door panels. The revised steering wheel has a beefier and more sporty appearance while still being adjustable for reach and rake. To my chagrin, the foldable second-row armrest now has cup holders. Fox carbon fiber may appear pretentious, at least to me, but it would have been a preferable choice to the shift console's piano black plastic. Many Xpander users have complained about scratches that have formed on the latter material over time, and they have used aftermarket stickers to mask the damage. Unfortunately, there is no vanity mirror on the driver's side visor. It's reasonable to argue that technology played a role in increasing cockpit space. This is mostly due to the removal of the handbrake lever, which has been replaced by a button for the electronic parking brake. Even the temperature controls have ditched the bulging rotary knobs in favor of flush-mounted switches and buttons. Thank you so much guys for watching our video till the end. For more updates like this, please subscribe our channel Latest Luxury Cars. Stay tuned.